Well, rarely in 10 years have you seen Premier Gordon Campbell smile so much, but these days are his last days in the top job, and it would seem that the pressure has finally come off. In his final week as Premier, as his colleagues were busy saying nice things about him, he was busy talking to reporters in a series of surprisingly candid exit interviews.
Not long after his third majority win in the spring of 2009, Gordon Campbell was asked if he would run again in 2013, and he vowed he would. Now, as he gears down towards life after politics, the Premier who resigned so abruptly last November insists he's leaving on his own terms.
We had been elected at a government, I think, roughly 6 weeks before the question was asked. And as one of your colleagues said, what else was he going to say, right? And I always have said to people, I'll let you know when I decide I'm not going to run. I never was really anticipating running for a fourth term. It's been a long run as it is. So then you have to decide what timing is best.
And he says last November was best. He thought about going out on a golden high after the 2010 Olympics, but he considered the tough sell job on the unpopular HST unfinished work until polling numbers made it clear it was work he shouldn't be doing.
I think I made the right choice for the party. I think I made the right choice for the province, and I certainly made the right choice for me. So, you know, I didn't have a date in mind that I said it's now.
Unsurprisingly, Campbell says the tax still has a chance in a referendum, counts it as one of his biggest political mistakes. But he says technology has changed politics. Social media gave critics instant access to and engagement with voters. He says his government needs to do more and spend more to get back in the game.
I actually think the public affairs budget has to be larger. I think there should be no apologies about that. I think citizens want to be included. You can't require people to gather information, but you have to provide that information, and you have to find ways that you're truly engaging them.
The Premier says it's up to others to decide what his legacy will be, but he knows what he is proud of.
So I go to Prince George, they're excited about their future. I talking in Nanaimo, they've got plans for their future. I go to Vancouver, go to Victoria, they've got thoughts about what they can do and how they can get better. I feel very good about that because that's not how people felt when we were first elected to government.
And he knows what he regrets.
I think probably, you know, the thing that I regret the most is we weren't quite able. You know, we were just so close to get the Recognition Reconciliation Act in the spring of '09. First Nations and the government, we were just so close. And then it fell away from us, and, you know, it'll be, I think, quite some time before we're back to that position where we can create that kind of certainty.
But the Premier does not feel he's failed when it comes to BC's dismal record on child poverty. The province has ranked worst in Canada for years. He insists there has been progress.
There's no province in the country that's done more to reduce children in poverty than British Columbia since 2003.
How do you countenance that, though, against the perception? And you can't argue with the empirical numbers, the data that says we're in last place in the country.
Well, because we've been in last place for some time. And we're getting ourselves out of a hole by stopping digging, and you have to keep on pursuing that. So I think the people that pretend, and I think it is a pretense, that everything can be solved overnight, all you have to do is throw more money at it, I think that's not correct.
Now, Campbell and his party are looking forward. His replacement will be picked in just 8 days. The Premier says, yes, he will cast a ballot. No, he won't say who for. And no, he's not endorsing anyone publicly. But he does offer this advice and this take on leadership.
Okay, finish these next two sentences for me. The next Premier must not
be timid.
The next Premier must
be bold. I think you have to have vision. I think you have to have discipline. You have to have energy, and you have to have focus.
Campbell isn't done with public life. In fact, he's already committed to another campaign, the Ride to Conquer Cancer. He'll join Myra Lawrence and Jordan Cunningham from Ace Sports during the ride, which is grueling and which Campbell has only just started training for.
It's not always comfortable when you get back on a bike the first time.
I know, I've noticed that. but thanks for sharing that with your viewing audience. Right.
In Victoria, Shachi Curl, A News.